let us in this presentation discuss about the installation of Elasticsearch and Kibana, and also we will have some hands-on experience on the basic usage of Kibana to interact with Elasticsearch. So let us begin. So before we go to the installation part, first of all we need to check some dependencies. That is, Elasticsearch code is fully dependent on Java runtime environment. So Java must be there in our system. So to check whether Java is already there in our system or not, let us type this command java dash version. Okay, on typing this, if you create something like this, that is the Java version is being displayed here, that means Java is already there in my system. If it is not there, please install Java. Okay, and also you need to check whether Java home variable environment variable is set. That is Java home. To check that, you need to type on your terminal or command prompt echo $java home. You just see if such kind of path is there already set or not. That is the Java installation path must be set in Java home environment variable. Okay, if these two things are there, that means you are ready to go with the installation. So let's go to the Elasticsearch website to download. That is elastic.co. Then go to the products tab and then click Elasticsearch link, and then you will get a page like this. There will start free trial or download and get started. I'm going with this option, and here you will get links like this: get Elasticsearch. Then based on your operating system, click on these links. If you are in Windows, click this. If Mac, this, and in my case it is Linux, so I am clicking on this. And you will get some tar.gz file if it is Linux or Mac. Otherwise, if it is Windows, you will get a zip file. Just download that. Okay, once the download completed, you please go to that file. I have it in this location. You can keep it anywhere. I have kept it in my opt/es directory. And if you are in Windows, maybe you will prefer to keep it in E drive or D drive somewhere. You keep it anywhere as per your favorite location. So my file is here, the downloaded file is here, that is this one. Okay, I'm going to extract it. Okay, you use your favorite tool for the extraction, maybe 7zip or WinZip, whatever you have, or you can do it from command line also. Okay, the extraction is completed. So let us see what exists there right now. If we ls here, we'll get another new folder that has been created after the extraction. So this is our Elasticsearch files exist inside this. Let us move into that Elasticsearch. Let's see what exists inside this. Inside this there is a number of directories and files. So here is a bin directory, config directory, the jdk directory, lib, and all these things are there. So first of all, we'll focus on the config directory. Let's see what exists inside config. Inside config, there are a number of files, that is elasticsearch.yml, jvm.options, and there are many other configurations also. But for the time being, we'll focus on this file. This is very important. And this elasticsearch.yml, let us open it. vi config/yml. I am using the vi editor. You can open it by using your favorite text editor. Okay, here is the configuration file. Now there is a number of entries there, all of us commented out. That is, if we just open it, you want to enable any configuration, we just need to remove this hash from this line. Okay, so here is the cluster name. So we'll see few of these entries at this current moment. Later we will have a separate video to understand all of the configuration file entries. For the time being, just see few of these entries. So here is the cluster.name. So this name is the default name, my application. I'm going to change it. I'm just writing learning being es cluster. Okay, if you do not change it, no issue, the name will be the default name. And also here is the node.name. It is the name of your node. It is the default node has been given as node 1. I am changing it to learning node 1. Okay, there is the data path, default path. If you do not change this path, the data will be kept. That is where the Elasticsearch data will be kept in the file system. If you do not change it, there will be a data directory inside Elasticsearch folder, and there the data will reside. If you want to keep it somewhere into a different location, then you can set the path here. Okay, and same for logs also. And there is some other settings there, we are skipping them. And here is the one important entry, that's the network.host. This is when you are in a multi-node cluster. That is, if you are creating a multi-node cluster, then you need to specify the LAN IP address of your machine. But here we are creating a single node cluster, so we are not going to specify any IP address. If you do not change this entry at this moment, there is no issue. It will take the default localhost IP address. So okay, I am going to change that default one, 127.0.0.1. okay, and here is the HTTP port. That is the particular port on which Elasticsearch server will listen. I am not going to change this, just keep it with the default port. If you change it, no issue. Okay, so I am keeping it default 9200. okay, so we have changed 4 configurations till now. We are not going to change anything else. Here is the HTTP port, here is the host, and here is the cluster name, and here is the node name. Okay, I've changed all the entries we needed at the right moment. Okay, just save and close it. So we are ready, and now let us have a look on this bin directory. This bin directory contains the binaries of Elasticsearch. Okay, ls bin, I am doing it just binless. Okay, here's the number of binaries there. So for the time being, we just need this one. If we run this binary file, then Elasticsearch server will run. Okay, so we'll run this file right now. So to run this file, just type in your console bin/elastic. If you are in Windows, might be this file is called as elastic.exe. okay, the running mechanism is same, bin/elasticsearch.exe. just type it and press enter. So Elasticsearch server is getting started, and a lot of things has been written in the console. Okay, we are seeing that our learning node 1 has been started. If you get this log here, that means server is off. Okay, we are running it in terminal, so let's keep it running as it is. Now as our server is off, we just need to see the publish address is 127.0.0.192.0.0. that is the network host we set earlier in the configuration file, and the particular port. Now we need to copy this. Okay, we'll run it in our browser. Just open your browser, and in a new tab press that 1200, that localhost address, and 9200. And if you see, you will get a page like this. If a page like this is displayed, that means that your Elasticsearch server is off. So here is the node name, that is the learning node 1, and here is the cluster name, that is the learning being ES cluster. What we set in our configuration file, that has been reflected here. Okay, so our server is off. Now we know that Elasticsearch provides RESTful API interface to interact with it. Okay, so RESTful means we can interact with just HTTP request. Okay, so here we can do some HTTP request from our browser also, which is just read only. For example, our get request, if it is the get request, then we can do it, we can perform it from our browser address bar also. Okay, so for example, if we want to see the list of indexes exist in this index at this current moment, or the cluster health, all these things are just read only operation, and those are done through the by using the HTTP get method. Okay, so those things can be done from from browser address bar also. So if we just run this cat indices, this will display the list of indexes exist in Elasticsearch. But for the timing, this page is totally empty because we have not created any index yet. So if we want to create index, we need to do write operation into Elasticsearch. So for doing the write operation, it is not possible to run any post or put operation from this address bar. So we need some REST client, maybe Postman. Here we will not going to use any REST client like Postman. Instead, Elasticsearch provides some dedicated REST client, that is the Kibana development tool. We will be using that. For that, we need to download Kibana first. So we'll go to the Elasticsearch website again, and here is the Kibana. we will download the Kibana. The downloading mechanism is same, just like Elasticsearch. You click based on your operating system. I am downloading it for Linux. Okay, you will get the same kind of tar.gunzip file, or in case of Windows you will get a zip file. Just download it. Now once the download is completed, go to the terminal and open a new terminal window, and just I am going to the same location where my Elasticsearch resides. Just copy the file where it has been downloaded. I am copying it from the downloads folder. Okay, I have copied it in my, let us see. So here is my Kibana file. So I am going to extract it by using the tar command. I am keeping it in the same directory where Elasticsearch resides, but there is no rules for that. You can keep it Kibana anywhere you want. Okay, extraction is completed. Let us clear the console and let us ls. So we see here is the Kibana directory has been created. Okay, let us move to the Kibana directory. So here is the Kibana files. Now let us ls. So here is the files and folders. Here is the same file structure like the Elasticsearch: bin, config, data. Okay, all these things. So one thing to note here, our Elasticsearch server is in different console because we are running it from terminal right now. So we need to keep it this way. If we close this terminal, then Elasticsearch server will be down. Okay, because we are running it from terminal. So when you deploying your Elasticsearch in production or any other server, then you need to create service for that. So we'll see about the service creation later. So for the timing, just run it from console, and it will Elasticsearch will run in different console, and you need to run Kibana somewhere else. Here, so here is the bin and config directory. So we'll have a look on the config again. ls config. So there exists kibana.yml and node options. So let's just open it Kibana file. Okay, Kibana vi. I'm using vi editor config / kibana.yml. Here is our Kibana file. So here also we will see some important entries. So here is the server.port, that is the particular port number on which Kibana will run. So here is the 5601 is the default port. Let's keep it default. Okay, and also here is the server.host, that is the particular host name on which Elasticsearch will Kibana will run. So here is the localhost. You can keep it localhost or the localhost IP 127.0.0.1, whatever you want. Okay, just I have enabled these two entries. If you do not enable, no issue, it will run on the same default settings. Okay, so here is another important entry, that is the elasticsearch.host. So this is the Elasticsearch IP address and port you need to mention where Elasticsearch is running. So currently, as we have already run Elasticsearch in our localhost, that is, if you specify the IP also, there is no issue, or if you write localhost also, there is the same thing. Here is the Elasticsearch IP and port. By using this configuration, Kibana will connect to Elasticsearch. Okay, and close this. Okay, now to run Kibana, let us have a look on the bin directory. Here is the number of binaries exist. The Kibana will run this binary file. Okay, so just bin/Kibana. Just press enter. And in case of Windows, might be it is kibana.exe. Just run that. So here you will get a number of warnings because of might be it is single node cluster and the HTTPS, all these things are not configured yet. No issue with it. Let's Kibana running. Here it is listening this, the IP address and the port number has been mentioned here. Okay, so let's just copy it and run it in our browser. If we run it, we'll get the Kibana interface. The add data or explore my own. Okay, let us explore our own. Okay, so here is the main Kibana interface actually. So here is the menu. You will see, because Kibana does a number of things. It displays the analytics data by using by visualizing using graphs, etc. So there is the analytics. Here is the enterprise search, observability. Many things are there, and security. But for the timing, we'll focus on this, the management and dev tools. Just click on this, and on clicking on this, you will get an interface like this. On the left hand side, there is you will write queries here, and on the right hand side you will get the output. Okay, this is just a test client. Okay, So for the timing, let's run our basic command which we ran from here. Okay, if we want to run this also, this is the root query. Okay, if it is in case of HTTP request, then we need to type here like this. This is get method, get request, and if we just run this, we will get this page. Just run it, type it here and run it from here. Okay, we are getting this page here. So here one thing we need to note that we do not need to mention the host or port here, because we already have mentioned the host and port in our kibana.yml file. If we want to see the list of indexes which we run it from here, earlier there was nothing there, it was empty page. If we run it again, we will get some indexes here, because all these indexes has been created by Kibana. Okay, so if we run this the same command, just copy this. Okay, just copying it and go to the Kibana console and type here get, and then just paste cat underscore indexes. If you run it, you will get the list of indexes here. Okay, if we zoom out, you will get it like this. Okay, here another important thing is that if you type, there are many metrics we can get by using this cluster. Here one important thing that Kibana will display you a lot of suggestions, so it will be very much helpful. If you want to see cluster health, just run it. So there is a number of queries you can run from here, and the same queries if you want to run from browser, you just need to here cluster health, so you will get the same output here also. So this is all. And now these are about the get request. Now if you want to create any index, okay, then we need to use the put method. Put, and then just write the index name, books, if we write it here. Then just this is just simple. If you run this, an index will be created. Acknowledge true, search acknowledge true, index books. Okay, books had been created. If you again want to see the list of indexes, just run it here. You will be able to see the book name here is being displayed. Okay, so this is just simple. We have not created any fields or all these things with this index. Just we have created an index. There is nothing, no field, no analyzer, no documents yet. Okay, now if you want to see the settings of this index, that is, if you in case of RDBMS, suppose you have created a table and you want to display the schema, then you will write DESC, that is describe table. Okay, for similar comments for this is get books. If you do this is similar like the description DESC command. If you run this, it will display you the schema of this books index. So here a lot of things, settings, mappings and aliases, all these things are there. So here let us collapse it, and here inside mappings, focus on these things. Mappings is totally empty because we have not specified any fields, because that is why there is no fields are being displayed over. Now if you want to create any fields, then just we need to write something, put books, and inside that we need to specify some configuration like mappings, and inside mappings you need to write the properties, and inside properties you need to create the fields. Suppose we are storing books information, so we create a field name book name, and just write the type as text, no issue, and another field, suppose the author name, and the mention the type is also text. And suppose this is our library database, so we want to keep the number of copies. Type instead of text, just make it integer. Okay, so it will store. Let us keep this with these three fields. Now just run it. You will get some error because resource already exists exception, because here already the books index is exist there. So to create a new index with the same name, it is not possible, so you need to delete it. You need to delete the earlier index. If you just keep different name, books 2, then it will be created, but let us delete the earlier index. Delete, you just need to delete the index name. If you run this, okay, you run this and the index will be deleted. Please do not run it in case of production. So acknowledge true. If you want to see the list here, just run it again, and here the book has been finished. Now you run this query. On running this, you will see acknowledge true. Okay, index has been created. Now inside this list we will be able to see this. Now if you want to see the description, the get books, if you like the DESC table name, similar like, so you just run it and you will see interesting thing. Let's just collapse the settings, and here inside the mappings there was nothing earlier. Now here you are able to see the mappings and then properties, and after that all the field names are there: author, book name, number of copies with their types, etc. Okay, now if you want to see what are the indexes, what are the documents exist inside this books index, so for that is the select star from books. A query similar like this, if you want to run, then you need to type get books /_search. If you run this, you will be able to see all the documents, but here we do not have any documents. Here's total value is 0 because we have not put any documents yet. Now let us just put some documents in this index. So for doing that, you need to type something like this: post. You need to use post method, post, then index name this underscore doc. Doc means it is going to put documents. Now you need to give the documents here, so you will just type the same field names here what you have been given. Book name, so suppose the book name is Wings of Fire, and here the author name APJ Abdul Kalam, and number of copies equal to 1000. Okay, just you have set the documents and run it. Okay, it has been created. Now if we again run this search query, you will be able to see this here. Here's inside here's there is the document data you are being able to see. Again, suppose we are wanting to add another document, just copy it. Okay, we are changing the book name here, so the book name is a brief history of time. Okay, just run this query and it has been created again. Now if you want to see the list, run it again and you will be able to see hits value is 2. There is 2 documents are there. There is a hits 1, there is the Wings of Fire, here is the brief history of time. Now this is the query, and now if you want to do search operation, then just run post, and here is the index name underscore search. If you run this one, you will get all the items. If you run this and we want to filter out, then you need to mention query here. Suppose we want to run match query, so you need to write query, inside query just type the match, and here is the field name, suppose book name, and type the word by which you want to search. Suppose you want to search fire, then if you run this, you will get this result. There is the fire, this particular word has been matched. The other document is missing here because there is no word fire in the other document. And if you again run time, then we will get the another document. There is a brief history of time will be displayed. So this is how the match query works. I will in detail discuss about the match queries and all the other queries later, but for the timing, this is just a simple example of running the search query. And another thing I just want to display here, that if you want to fetch that is select, instead of using the select star, you just want to fetch some particular, just you want to fetch the book name. In that case, you just keep the query same. Just here you need to mention something underscore source. Okay, and then you just need to write the field name, that is the book name. Okay, if you just run it, then you will get only the book name value. Okay, here. And if you want to mention multiple field names, just make it an array and type here book name and number of copies, suppose, then run it. If you run it, you will get these 2 fields. Okay, this is how it works. And also there is some sorting and filtering, all these features are there. I'm just skipping it for the time being. Later we'll display you about all those things we'll discuss about in detail. And another thing I want to show you here, that is the schemaless nature of Elasticsearch, because till now whatever the data we are entering into Elasticsearch, all those fields already has been predefined, like we do in case of relational database management system, that is in case of MySQL or the SQL server, all these things. Okay, but here Elasticsearch is schemaless in nature. That is, if we put some data, suppose this data we are going to copy, and here just run this query, book name, number of copies, and suppose you are entering a new field, that is category. So category is science, suppose ignited minds, I have named it, and the writer name is also doctor. So just run it. Now let us see what exists. It has been created, and if we run the search query again, we'll see here all the earlier documents have 3 fields, but the new documents has 4 fields, because Elasticsearch is schemaless in nature. So if you do not already defined a particular field and you are wanting to put data, then that particular field will automatically get created. And if you want to see the description of this books index, that is DESC table name, then you will see here the category, a new field has been created automatically, which we did not specify earlier. So here the category field has been created and the type has been given as text. So here we have seen the installation of Elasticsearch. Here in our terminal, Elasticsearch is running. Here in this terminal, Kibana is running. And also here we have seen the Kibana interface, and by using which we have created indexes, put documents, and also did some basic search operations. So later in our videos we will have detailed discussion about all the search queries, about the analyzers, about the configuration entries, all these things. So for the time being in this video, this is all. Okay, thank you for watching. If you feel this video is helpful, please click on the like option and do subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.